Well, hello there, Virgo. How are you? It is so good to see you again. I'm Mary Sue, and I'm so grateful that you're here. So, today we're going to just take a look and see what is on the horizon for you. We'll first take a look at the overall energy with the oracle cards, and then we'll move to the tarot for more details about any obstacles on your path, areas of resistance, and of course, advice from spirit. Okay, so let's see what is in store for you. We have Voyage of the Heart. Love flows through you and to you. And in spirit, time to collaborate. Wow, I love that energy. It's also the number one, right? I feel like there's something here where it's about your loving connection with other people. So it does not have to be a romantic relationship. It's the connection that you are gaining through your heart space. Okay, so this could be a romance, it could be family, friend, but it could even be like your clients, right? Or your audience, or your customers in your workspace, right? It's understanding that the love that you are sharing through your heart, okay, looking at it from the energy of how you can help serve or share your love, your light with other people is helping you to attract in other people that are also willing to help you on your path. Wow, beautiful energy. So Virgo, this is very different than the energy that Capricorn and Taurus had. You know, a lot of times, like all the earth signs will have similar messages. Yours is very different in the fact that theirs was an energy of going out on your own. This is the energy of finding other people in order to work with, to allow yourself to kind of like step into something that is really beautiful. Yeah, I feel like, you have the goblins and then you have the healing light. This is part of your spiritual journey. The healing light. This is what I was kind of feeling here, right? It could be a romantic relationship or a family friend. It could be that. This feels more kind of like career based, I'll have to say, but it doesn't have to be. But this is the energy of understanding that you are a healer for others. It's stepping into your healing energy. But I feel like there's a little bit of fear here. Fear of not thinking that you can do it on your own or something like that. An energy of understanding that we all have a healing energy. We all have healing energy. So it's allowing ourselves to activate that healing energy, opening up our healing gifts. And we can share our healing light in all kinds of different ways. Some of us may start a spiritual business, sharing our healing light or spiritual gifts with other people. Other people, though, may choose to share their healing light by being smiling, right? And smiling to strangers on the street, or starting a conversation with a stranger in the grocery line or something like that. Allowing your own loving energy to be flowing from you to other people, and then also being open to allowing love to flow to you. I feel like there's something here where perhaps you have felt like you couldn't do this on your own, and so you've been looking to either collaborate with other people. But there's this energy of recognizing your own healing light. Interesting, because I feel like what you're trying to do, part of your journey, is to bring people together and to help them to collaborate. This is very much that Aquarian energy, and Pluto moved into Aquarius a few weeks ago, right? Understanding that part of your journey is helping people to collaborate, but it's by stepping into your own healing light and sharing who you are in a loving way with other people that helps you to build this sense of community that I feel like you're being drawn to do, because you have the King of Wands. This is my spiritual teacher card. Understanding that you are a healer, a spiritual teacher, a leader for other people, illuminating the path for other people with your healing light. But the King of Wands is also a leader, okay? It's helping, and with the Aquarian energy, it's helping people to see their healing light within themselves, to see themselves in this very loving way in order to help reach their highest potential. In other words, you're like an inspirer, a motivator of some sort. Not necessarily telling people how to do it, right? But it's the energy of living your life in such an inspiring way that you help activate this loving energy in other people, that they also want to step into their highest good. And their highest energy may not be the same as yours, right? That's the really interesting thing here, is that I think that Aquarian energy is really playing out, where you can allow yourself to be a leader in inspiring other people, but allowing them to share their loving light, their healing energy in their own unique way. That's what Aquarians do. They see the highest potential in people, and yet at the same time, understand that we're all so unique. But when we come together, when we collaborate in different ways, that it reaches the highest good for the collective. Wow, very spiritual. Okay, so let's go to your present energy. Let's see where this is going. You have the Tower. I mean, this is coming in fast, you know? You have the Spark. I feel like you've been draining your energy because there's something here about understanding the Spark is very much the King of Wands. The Spark to me is representing that epiphany, okay? And the Tower represents epiphanies, that spark, that idea. Oh my goodness. I feel like whatever you've been kind of trying to build here, okay? Whether it's a business or a community or just sharing your energy with other people, or a peer group, whatever it is that you're trying to build here. It's almost this energy where you're getting this idea that you have been going about it in a way that wasn't truly in alignment with your highest good. In other words, it wasn't really in the energy of allowing your loving light to flow. So you could have gotten caught up in the fears, okay? Say this is like a business thing, because I still feel like this is kind of business oriented. It doesn't have to be. But really choosing to see this from the loving energy. It's kind of like, I feel like maybe you've been focusing on the money aspect of it, the fears that it won't be successful or something. Let's see what we have here. Yeah, you're healing here. Wow, this is beautiful. This is like the spark that completely turns things around. Because I feel like your energy, your time, your ability, your sense of confidence even is draining because of the way that you have been looking at this situation. And it's like all of a sudden you get this intuitive energy, or this spark, this Ace of Wands. This is very much an Ace of Wands energy, an idea. You see how it's not about, I think there's something here about seeing the unique possibilities that each person brings to the table, okay? And allowing yourself to step into allowing people to use their talents in their own way, but also to be able to collaborate with them. This is this is like, oh my goodness. I don't know. It could have been your reading last week, but this came up in one of the other readings, and I want to say it's Leo, and here's Leo energy. It's the energy of understanding that, like when I was a teacher, a 4th and 5th grade teacher, that students have different strengths and weaknesses. And some of the times we, as teachers or the school system, really focus in on what a child is good at and where they need improvement, right? But it's all academically. It's kind of like, oh, they're good at reading, but they need to work on math. And we kind of allow ourselves to label students in a way based on what they're good at in the classroom. But there's so many students, and I recognize this because I had students that struggled academically in my classroom, but it was that they may struggle academically, but they may be fabulous on stage, or on the soccer field, or maybe they had a true love for saving the planet environmentally, right? Like there are things that are not in the confines of the curriculum that students can be really good at. And part of my job, I felt as a teacher, was to help find those things that maybe were outside of the classroom and allow them to share them inside the classroom. So instead of writing like a 5-paragraph essay on the planet Mars, okay, that if they were good at singing, they could write a song and sing about Mars to the class. Or if they were good at the soccer, right, they could juggle their soccer ball or whatever and talk about Mars, right? That it didn't have to be in the format that was perhaps good for the student that could write a 5-paragraph essay and get an A+ on it, right? But maybe that's not their forte, but they have a forte in another area. And I think that is exactly what this is. It's kind of like, I think you've been trying to collaborate with people or share your healing energy or something like that, but you may have been thinking that you had to do it in a certain way, right? Because that's the way that's good for you. Here's the energy that you're getting, this true epiphany that different people open up to their spiritual essence or their healing energy or their highest potential in different ways. And so it's about allowing yourself to somehow change your thinking in that it has to be in a certain way, and allowing yourself to collaborate with other people, perhaps, especially if you're trying to start a business, right? To collaborate with other people that have different ways of doing it, but that when you put all of your skills and talents together, you create something that is amazing. And that is exactly what this is, because you're coming from your heart. You're having that heart-to-heart connection with yourself and with your clients. It's understanding that when I was a teacher and I would only, if I really followed the curriculum and only taught how to write a 5-paragraph essay about the planet Mars or whatever we were studying, right? If it always had to be a 5-paragraph essay, there was 90% of the classroom that would hate school and would not want to go on that journey of learning about Mars because they just didn't like the 5-paragraph essay. That's what you're understanding, is that perhaps some people don't really want to step into their healing gifts. Some people do not want to step into healing themselves. Some people do not want to go into the spiritual realm in some way, right? Because they're afraid of the 5-paragraph essay. It's kind of like, okay, wait a minute. Maybe if I have a little bit of a different approach here, and allow people to open up to what it is that they enjoy about their spirituality or are concerned about, because you have the goblins. What are their fears, right? Having that conversation, the heart-to-heart conversation, being the teacher, the inspirer of people, but seeing it in a lot of different ways. It's huge. It's huge, Virgo. It's like, this is your obstacle, is that you're feeling like you have to be kind of in control. You have to allow it's almost like you're trying to convince people that the way that you do something is the way to do it, right? You are a healer. But the way that you do your healing is not necessarily the way that your clientele or whoever you're trying to reach here is. It's allowing yourself to move on from thinking that it has to be done in a certain way. Yes, and coming together. Look at this. It's allowing yourself to have a different approach to this creative project. I'm thinking this is like a spiritual business or a creative project, a career, something that you are trying to get up and grow. And I'm going to say in this very loving light, but what you're doing is you're understanding. It's about bringing people together and allowing their own unique viewpoints, perhaps, or their own unique healing abilities to come together in order to have this incredible success. That is that is so clear. You do have the capability of having some incredible success in what it is that you're wanting to do. It's about allowing yourself to step out of the energy of thinking it has to happen a certain way, or it has to happen the way that you find successful, right? And being kind of like the teacher that I was when I was a teacher, and understanding every student does not like to write a 5-paragraph essay. Yes, do I still have to teach them how to write a 5-paragraph essay? But it's not the only way that we can communicate. Oh my goodness, communicate with each other and communicate with spirit, right? It's kind of like if you had to write a 5-paragraph essay to your spiritual guides and angels, I bet 90% of you would say, no, thank you. I'll just do life on my own, right? It's understanding that you have the capability of helping unlock those special ways that people can communicate with their guides and angels, and it's somehow bringing that all together. It's a beautiful energy, and I know, Virgo, I'm not articulating this well, but I hope it's resonating. I hope that if you're watching this and it's resonating for you, you're understanding. It's kind of like, I feel like you're going to understand how this works for you. Yes, here you go. You're understanding that when you feel like it has to be done your way, that you're sabotaging your own success in this. So it's kind of like, okay, I have to see this from a different perspective. It's kind of like allowing yourself to take yourself out of the viewpoint of the teacher, right? And you are the teacher here. I guarantee you are the teacher. But putting yourself in the mindset of your students. So that's what I did as a teacher. I realized everybody doesn't like to write a 5-paragraph essay, right? So if I get into the mindset of the student, how would the student like to share their information about the planet Mars, right? And allowing them to kind of like design what that is. It may still have to meet a certain criteria, right, of the information that I'm looking for. But also think about all the students in the classroom. If all of them have to listen to somebody read out their 5-paragraph essay, they're all going to fall asleep. Right? But if you have somebody that's over here baking and creating Mars and out of flour or whatever, right? Making a Mars cake of some sort and showing all the different aspects of Mars, okay? Kids are going to get into that. And if I have somebody over here that has a soccer ball, right? And designs a soccer ball that looks like Mars and then is juggling it and showing how it's in relationship to other planets, kids are really going to get into that. And then I might have somebody else that is good at sewing, right? And creates some quilt or something that depicts all of the information about Mars, right? The cool thing is that some kids may not like the baking, okay? They may, I don't like baking. But there's some kids in the class that really resonate and learn a lot about Mars because of that. And some other students are really going to resonate with the soccer, right? And get that. So it's kind of like, wow, this is like, whoo. I think you're taking your idea and truly expanding it and understanding, my goodness, There's something here that when I take a look at it from the perspective of who your audience is, that when you allow yourself to step into their shoes and see it in a different way, this just blows up and is so successful, whatever this is. I'm like so excited for you, Virgo. If this is resonating for you at all, I feel like this is a kind of like that epiphany, that moment where you're understanding, oh my goodness, I just have to flip my perspective to from being the teacher into being the student. I think helps you. Okay, let's pull the Soul Truth card. And Virgo, I do personal readings, so if you're interested, the link is in the description box below. I'd really be honored to do a reading for you. So let's see, who can I serve today? Yes, in a world lacking soul-to-soul connection, and that's exactly what you have here, right? Small and simple acts are what create the biggest and most lasting impact. We shift our own pain and experience an avalanche of love when we lose ourselves in the service of others. Who needs you today? Yes, it's switching it around and asking yourself, who is your audience? Who are you trying to connect with, right? I really feel like this is more career oriented, right? Who is it that I'm trying to connect with? And then how do I connect with them? Instead of feeling I have this gift, I have to share it, right? So this is the way I'm going to share it. It's kind of like, no, wait a minute. Who's the audience that I'm trying to connect to, right? A lot of times when I was thinking about something I wanted to do in the classroom, I would really think about those students that I was really trying to reach that maybe struggled in the classroom, and put myself in their shoes. What do they enjoy? How do they enjoy learning? Kind of like looking at it from their perspective and then just going, okay, how can I incorporate that into what it is that I need to teach, right? You have a curriculum here. It's about the way that you approach sharing your wisdom, your light, your healing energy with other people. It's switching it and thinking about the person that's receiving it, the person that you're trying to serve. All right, Virgo. Wow. big energy here. All right, I'm going to leave it there. I love you so much. Thank you so much for all of your support by liking, commenting, and subscribing. I really do appreciate you, and I hope to see you again really soon. Much love and light. Bye for now.